Austin, many thanks as always. Here now we have Democratic strategist and former Clinton advisor Richard Socarides. We have Kevin Williamson, National Review Deputy Managing Editor and author of The Dependency Agenda. Gentlemen, let me go to you, Kevin. I'm just making this as a serious point that Mitt Romney is the most conservative Republican to run since Ronald Reagan. What's your thought?
No, I don't think so.
Who's more conservative?
Oh, I think George W. Bush was more conservative.
Really? Really? After all that spending that you criticized?
Well, yeah, he was terrible. I mean, he's terrible in office on those issues, but certainly his message and his essential political outlook, I think, was more conservative than Romney's was. But, you know, Romney is a guy who certainly would have been on the conservative wing of the Republican Party 20 years ago, but the party has moved in a much more sort of
puristic. Do you like his business message?
Yeah, I think it's the only message of his that really matters, I think, at this point. And him at the Business Roundtable is exactly where he wants to be. You know, he's composed, he's informed, he's experienced. It's exactly his element. And this is the conversation he wants to keep having over and over again between now and November, simply because Barack Obama cannot walk into that room with any sort of credibility and give the same speech. He just can't.
Richard Socarides, I want to ask you, as a former Clinton guy, key Clinton strategists, like who do we hear from? Greenberg put out a memo.
Sure,
I think Carville joined him on that. They say that if Obama stays on his current message, which is that the economy is somehow getting better, which people do not believe, he is a sure loser, and he must change his message. As a former Clintonite yourself, I want to get your take on that. Must Obama change his message on the economy?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure that's exactly what they said. I think they said is that he has to do more to share with the American people his vision for the future, rather than talk about how, you know, we avoided this Armageddon.
Because no one believes the economy is really getting better.
Well, no, I don't
that's
think
what the
no, I don't think that's true. And I want to agree with you. I do think that Governor Romney is the most conservative Republican to run in a long time. But I think the president is a moderate. And I love saying this to you because I know it makes you crazy, but the president is a moderate. The president is a centrist, and I think the voters will see that. And that's, you know, that is really going to be the choice. The choice is going to be about trust. The choice is going to be about, you know, are we moving forward? Or are we going to go back to the Bush policies? I mean, Mr. Romney got this, was in front of this fantastic audience this morning today.
But I just want to say, all the Clinton people are deserting Obama now. You see it all the time, beginning with President Clinton himself. And all
I really don't think
Archer
that's true.
Davis is deserting him.
Listen, I'm a Clinton guy, and we're very excited about the president's
reelection.
re-election.
The whole Clinton wing is in revolt against Obama's anti-business policy.
True.
Come on, you know that. You're going to wind up voting for Romney. I know you're not going to say that.
That will never happen.
You're going to vote for Romney.
That will never happen because Governor Romney is the most conservative person we've had running for president on social policies.
Like Bill Clinton.
In
the
decades,
era of big government is over.
Listen, let me tell you another thing.
What do you think, Kevin? The era of big government is over.
He brings up social policies, and I expect that's where the president's going to try to turn the conversation to. He would much rather be talking about gay marriage, abortion, whether we're going to have federally funded contraception for people like Sandra Fluke, who apparently can't afford $3 to buy a prescription. And he wants to talk about anything about the economy because the economy is a mess. But if you look at the polls, 52% of the people put the economy as their number one issue. Health care is number two at 7%.
This guy's dead.
It's the only thing that matters.
Hang on a second. I got to bring in Kevin Williamson. Joining us now from the Romney campaign. I'm sorry, Kevin Williamson. Kevin Madden. Kevin Madden, welcome. I want to continue this, Kevin. What happens? I want to ask you. You've got all these top Clinton strategists trying to tell Obama he's a loser if he doesn't change his message. So I want to ask you, because I heard some interesting buzz from some Washington people today. They are telling me first that, yes, Obama is going to change his message and is now suddenly going to embrace the deficit reduction of Simpson Bowles. I want to get your take on that. What will Mitt Romney do if Obama embraces Simpson Bowles?
Well, look, I think there's a lot of the criticism for the president from a lot of Democrat strategists. Some of it anonymous, some of it is actually on the record. I think Kevin Williamson brought up a very good point. What's at odds right now is that you have a president who is presiding over a very sluggish economy, and where he really needs business to actually do well. He needs business to flourish. He needs people to feel confident. The American public right now feels very. They feel like the country's going in the wrong direction.
Right, but that's why these Clinton guys are saying change your message. And I'm just asking you if he does change his message, all right? Richard Socarides wants him to change his message.
Yeah.
There is no question. I got a Romney voter here, unless Obama changes his message. Kevin,
I'm not sure that's exactly.
I want to ask you, though, Kevin, will it put some heat on your man, who's got a lot of momentum, as we discussed tonight, if Obama suddenly, out of the blue, embraces the Simpson-Bowles deficit reduction package? What happens? What would your response be?
All the message morphing in the world is not going to help President Obama. What's really going to help President Obama is performance. What the American public is looking for is performance. What they want desperately are solutions to the economic anxieties that they have. And what they've seen from this president is either blaming Republicans up on Capitol Hill, even though the president presided with Democratic supermajorities in his first 2 years, where he passed $1 trillion stimulus bill that the public wasn't happy with and they don't believe created jobs, where he passed a health care bill that cost over $1 trillion over 10 years, and at a time we couldn't afford it. So I think that's a big problem, is performance.
Do you think it's possible that Obama could change his economic message, as per this Greenberg, et cetera, memo from the Clinton people, from Richard Socarides' crowd? And the Clinton people were very smart. They were much smarter than the Obama people, who were so far to the left they can't get out of their own way. Now, is it possible Obama will listen to the Clinton people and embrace deficit reduction a la Simpson-Bowles? And what would that do to the race?
Well, I wish he would embrace Simpson-Bowles, because it's a pretty good program, and I might actually have something nice to say about it. But I wonder if he's ever met Nancy Pelosi or Harry Reid and the people who declared it dead on arrival in Congress. I mean, it's just never going to go anywhere. I don't think he can change his message. I think he is far too much of a believer in the goodness and rightness of every thought that comes into his head. You know, people say Obama's a socialist, he's a Marxist. He's an Obamaist.
Right.
He's a guy who believes in a cult-like way in his own perfection, in his own
his old left wing. Look, all these guys you got around him, Axelrod and Valerie Jarrett, these people are so far to the left.
Let me tell you one thing, that this election is not going to be decided by Wall Street. And even though Governor Romney may be from big business, he is not a jobs creator. He was not a jobs creator when he was governor. He was not a jobs creator when he was at Bain.
All right, so you're not changing the message.
So I'm not changing the message.
Right,
and this election will also not be won on the rhetoric. Governor Romney has is rhetoric.
I'm glad you're not going to change the message, because Romney's going to win by 8 points if you don't change the message. I'm telling you, these Clinton guys are trying to send him a message. Kevin Madden, thank you, buddy. Richard Socarides and Kevin Williamson, as always.